Hi guys, it's Kayla from the Dustin Agency. I'm coming from you live, guys. It's been a little while. The last few weeks we've been doing our Hump Day hints, pre-recorded, but some really great content. But today I wanted to come live and talk to you guys and see how your Christmas went. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. This time of year is really busy. And I hope that you guys spent it with those that you love, friends or family, and you are getting ready and preparing for the new year ahead. It's coming up in just a few days. I know here at the Dustin Agency, we had a wonderful year and we are so blessed to have wonderful clients like you guys. So we just want to thank you so much as always for being loyal and being a client of ours. We appreciate you. Getting in topic of our Hump Day Hint, we are finishing off our series. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby and a baby carriage. Today we're talking about driving, first-time drivers. So that once tiny little baby that you held has grown into a toddler, and then a kid, and then a big kid, and then a teenager, and you face all these different obstacles. And one of the things we face is, how do we prepare our kids for the road? Making sure that they know the ins and outs, not just logistically, but also, being safe and smart when you are not in the car with them. As always, here at the Dustin Agency, we promote the New Jersey state laws. So we are going to talk to you guys a little bit about the laws and also some things that you should already know, such as wearing your seatbelt, no texting and driving, or using of hand-free devices. But let's kick it off. So in the state of New Jersey, you receive your permit at the age of 16. We call these our early bird drivers. So 16 years old, you start off by, usually they do the testing in school. And if your school does not offer it, then you would get a hold of a driving school, and your child would then go to the DMV, or the Motor Vehicles, Department of Motor Vehicles, with a licensed driving instructor. And they would pay $10 for the fee. This fee is to cover the paperwork that they're going to be filling out. They're going to do a vision test. They're going to do a knowledge-based test. And upon receiving that knowledge-based test and passing the vision test and the knowledge test, they're going to receive their permit. With this permit, you're going to need 6 points of identification. So make sure that if you are a parent who is going to have a 16-year-old coming up, that you find a driving school in our area. If you are looking for a driving school, comment below, and we'd be more than happy to share some of our local driving schools with you guys. You're going to want to make sure that that driving school, when you pay for the driving school, that you provide them with a $10 for the child to fill out that paperwork that we just spoke about, as well as making sure that your child goes to the Department of Motor Vehicle, which the driving school most likely will let them know, with that 6 point of identification. That's a birth certificate, security card, social security card, a passport, stuff like that. So once they've passed, they're one step closer to getting their driver's license. They then were going to complete 6 hours of driving with that licensed instructor. Upon receiving the 6 hours completion, they're going to go back to the motor vehicles and get what we call a permit, a temporary permit. And they're going to hold that permit for 6 months or up until the age of 17. At that point, once they've had their permit for 6 months, or they're approaching their 17th birthday, they are then going to take their road test. And their road test would then occur either on their 17th birthday or 6 months following the permit, and they would then receive their license. If you are a young driver under the age of 18, your driver's license will face vertically, and that also is another way for us to know who our young drivers are or who are under the age. Also, you're going to want to send your child with a $4 check. Upon receiving their driver's license, there also is going to be a decal, a reflective decal that is placed on the license plate, and that will stay there until the age of 21. And that is just to let drivers on the road, as well as police officers, know that this is a young driver. And these are all state, New Jersey state requirements. And you can find this on the internet. I'd be more than happy to also share this information. We actually have it posting today on our blog, everything we're talking about. Okay, so sometimes parents don't feel comfortable with letting their child get their driver's license at 16. Sometimes they like to allow their child to get it over the age of 16, 17 and up. I actually have siblings who don't have their driver's license and are over the age of 17. And that is totally up to you as a parent, whether it's just, they might not be mature enough to be behind the wheel or you'd prefer them to focus on their studies. You don't have to get your driver's license at 16. If you are a young adult, which would be the next stage, and you are over the age of 17 and you'd like to receive your driver's license, you still do need to have a licensed driving instructor go with you, but you also require the consent of a parent. You'll need those 6 points of identification as we spoke of. You're also going to need the $10 for the cover the paperwork. You're going to need to do that vision test, that knowledge test. Upon receiving that, you'll then need to practice the 6 months of driving with a licensed driver, stuff like that. But once again, you would be over the age of 16. So you're going to require, from our understanding, this consent from your parent. Now getting into some of the do's and don'ts when behind the wheel. Obviously, we want to follow the state laws, the things that you learn in your driving school. You can also sign up, just a side note, for defensing driving courses. Here at the Dustin Agency, we also provide you guys with a discount if you take a defensive driving course, or even if you're a good student. So be sure if your parent and your child has passed the test to provide us with those things to ensure that you are saving on your policy. Okay, so getting back on topic, some do's and don'ts. Obviously, you want to follow the requirements that and the state laws that you've learned now in your driving school. But some of the essentials and some of the things that we really want to crack down on is ensuring that you wear your seatbelt, no texting and driving, using your turn signals always is important, yielding and stopping as opposed to stopping at a yield or yielding at a stop. We want to ensure that you're driving properly. One of the things we want to stress to you guys, though, with these new drivers is the requirements that they are not to be driving past 11:01 to 5 a.m. And I say this because it's really important when your child is a young adult and they're in high school and they have their driver's license or their permit, really their permit, from my understanding, you're not supposed to be driving between the hours of 11:01 and 5 a.m. You're not supposed to be driving with anyone but your parents or your guardian or someone else that holds a New Jersey state license or a license at all. You're allowed to have one passenger in the car. And this is important because although it may seem annoying to these young adults, but it's a safety precaution. It's ensuring that in the case of an accident that could be, that are usually unforeseen, that their car is not filled with children or students or, co-workers. We want to make sure that they're following these rules because between those hours of 11:01 and 5 a.m., those are crunch hours. Those are hours where bad things could be happening on the road, guys, to be honest. And we want to ensure that our drivers are home, tucked in, safe. And if, as anything, if you are someone who is going to need to be picked up or at that time, don't get behind the wheel ever. And that goes into our next point, never drink and drive. Safety is always important. And if you are someone who is capable of driving, you don't necessarily know the next person in the vehicle next to you guys. So we just want to stress to you, if you are a new driver, please follow those guidelines. No driving between 11:01 and 5 a.m. Please buckle your seatbelt, no texting and driving. I know for myself, I have on my iPhone a do not disturb while driving, so that way it just kicks back a text message to the person letting them know that I am not able to touch my phone at that moment. There are Bluetooth in the vehicle, in some of our vehicles nowadays, but even then you can become quickly distracted, whether it's with music or your hands-free Bluetooth. So just, pull over if it's really that important in a public parking lot or whatever. But we cannot stress enough to you guys, safety, safety, safety. Making sure that you're not driving with more than one person when you're an underage driver. Making sure that you are driving at the correct times with your seatbelt, not texting and driving. And as always, making right choices when behind the wheel. Please do not drink and drive because your life is important. Like I said, we will tag below, if requested, some driving schools in our area. If you would like to know the requirements for the state of New Jersey, we'll be posting them on our blog. And as always, guys, please drive safely no matter what age you are, a new driver or not. We want to always make sure that when you get behind a wheel, you are protected. If you ever break down on the side of a road, we also offer roadside assistance. So if you have a new driver, that might be something really good for you to have on your policy to ensure that if you are out of town for work or something, or if they happen to be in an area in New Jersey where you cannot get to them in fast enough time, that we have you covered. Also, guys, just so you know, if you are a new driver, from my understanding, you're not allowed to cross state lines. So hopefully you follow that one. You don't go into another area unintended, but stay within your borders. Okay, guys? Once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and best off, Happy New Year. It's a new start, guys. New year coming. So next time we come to you, it's going to be 2019. Whoa. And we've got some really great content coming to you. We're going to be doing our next series on mind, body, and soul, preparing you for that new year, new you. We all have heard that slogan before. So stay tuned till next week, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.